Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to week 2 of Straight Waffling. Yes, we are back. Yes, we made it back. I am Connor Levinson, and I am here with my co-host and my roommate, the great Justin Holmes. Justin, how we doing, sir?
Feeling great. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. Gonna be a good weekend. Gonna be a great weekend.
It is going to be a great weekend. For those of you who are wondering why it is going to be a great weekend, we are going to be in Rocky Top, baby. That is right. Heading down to Knoxville for the University of Tennessee homecoming weekend. It is going to be a good one. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we make that trip down, we had to hop on here real quick and give you guys week 2 of the show. So, without further ado, without wasting any more time, let's just hop right into some ball talk, ladies and gentlemen. Where can we go? We could go football. We could go basketball. We could go James Franklin. We can go wherever we want. I don't know about you. We didn't talk a lot about it last week. Little ball talk. The Greek freak of college basketball.
Sleeper freshman.
Neo. Yes, sleeper freshman. And this freshman class is incredible. Like, there are some crazy people out there, but man, Virginia Tech got a good one. Neo is the real deal. Watching this dude hoop in person is unbelievable. He is incredible. The way that he can just facilitate a basketball game and just make the game play at his pace. It's crazy.
Yeah, the court vision is insane on this guy. And sometimes it doesn't seem like the Castle rims are too favorable for him. He the 2 games in Castle Coliseum, he didn't shoot as well, but the assists are still there. I mean, just the playmaking he brings, he's just smooth with the ball. He facilitates really well. I mean, some of these no-look passes are insane. I mean, we're at the game on Wednesday night, and we're sitting there, and he's coming down the court into 2-on-1, and I see him just throw the ball. In my head, I go, "What is this guy doing? Where's this pass going?" And all of a sudden, Toby Law out of nowhere up for the alley-oop slam. But yeah, it looked like he was passing to nowhere. Right, floated right there, right in the breadbasket for Law for the alley-oop. It was some of these no-look passes are crazy. I mean, luckily he hasn't turned it over with these passes, but I mean, the kid just looks nice. He's making a name for himself for sure. I mean, after that 33-point game in Providence, or in Connecticut against Providence, he was all over my Twitter feed. Everyone was talking about him.
Yeah, and I mean, this freshman class for college basketball is actually incredible. Like, there's some, dude, UNC got a good one. Dude, Caleb Wilson, I think that's his name, right? Caleb Wilson, he is insane. Like, insane. Like, I feel like the last couple of years it's always been like these, not the European guys taking over necessarily, but it's usually European guys in the top picks. Like, this year, man, I mean, obviously these guys, some of them are European, but like the college class, man, dude, Kobe at Arizona is disgusting too. Caleb Wilson at UNC, obviously Neo at VT. Dude, like,
you get the duo at Arkansas. Darius Aiken, Malik Thomas. Those 2 are nasty. I mean, getting a duo like that.
It's a crazy.
That's a duo similar to Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper of last year. Getting 2 high level guys like that.
Yeah, but you got to build a team around them to be good.
And Arkansas definitely has a team around them.
Yeah, Rutgers doesn't know how to do that though.
No, I'm just saying there's the duo though. 2 high level.
No, they are. Could you imagine like being like an 18-year-old and like you're just like balling out in college like that?
Or like you were talking about earlier, Schaefer, just turned 18 in the NHL. Like, it's crazy. Like, dude, I wish I was that good. Like, being that young.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was 18. I was in high school, like doing nothing with my life, and these dudes are out here like, yeah, I'm going to college a year early, and I'm gonna go ball out and like be the best player in the nation. And like you said, Schaefer is one of the top rookies in the NHL right now. He turned 18 like 3 months ago. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Yeah. And now, I mean,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, these guys are 18 years old, sometimes not even 18 years old, 17 years old in college basketball. Now they're making like really good money early too, before they even get to the league. So I mean, that's a whole nother story we could touch on another time, but it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I can't even like comprehend like what that must feel like to be like just like be that elite at such a young age. Like it's actually crazy. Like people like I don't even know like walking around like a top campus like UNC. Like imagine being like Caleb Wilson right now and you're 18 years old or however old he is and you're just like walking around UNC and like everyone knows who you are. Like, you know, he probably doesn't go to class. He probably doesn't do anything. And he just gets to hoop and he's going to probably go make a bajillion dollars in the NBA. And like, it's crazy, man. Why not me? Why not me?
Yeah.
Speaking of college basketball, too.
I'm watching now, man. But
man, dude, I was watching back then
last night. Number two, Purdue. Me too. That was last night. Purdue, Alabama, number 2, number 8. Purdue getting the win on the road, 7 points. They're going to be a good team this year, man. I mean, they probably have maybe the best point guard in the country in Raiden Smith. I mean, you know, they always have a big man down there. Matt Painter loves his big man.
They just got another one. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous.
7-footer, of course. Every year they like, I don't know where they grow them in West Lafayette, but hey, last night, Braden Smith, 29 points. 29 points. 29 points, Trey Kaufman ran 19.
And this is an Alabama
Those
team.
two are going to be
this is an Alabama team that, this Alabama team rinsed St. John's. Like, this is not like some joke of an Alabama team. Like, they have a good offense, and they only got held to 80 points, which for them is not.
No, they lost some guys from last year, but they're still a good overall team. I mean, they still got Phylon. He's a dog. I mean, Aiden Holloway was the guy yesterday. 21 points, 7 for 13, 5 for 9 from 3. They're always a fun team to watch. You know, their offense is always going to score points. They'll compete with anyone.
100%.
There was some other great games this week.
Like, great. We're talking like, dude, I think I speak for all of us. I can confidently say this, even though it's less than a week. No, I was gonna say, like, less than a week into the season, I think I can confidently say the ACC is back. Like, I really think the ACC
they
is
have
back.
They have some excitement this year,
dude. Like,
Wake Forest, who we didn't expect to be too great. They gave Michigan a run for their money. Forced overtime, had a couple chances to win at the end, but I mean, they didn't pull it out. But they put up a great fight. Louisville at home beat number 9 Kentucky.
Yeah.
They controlled that game for a lot of that the 40 minutes there. They looked great. I mean, Florida State gave Florida a run for the money. They weren't that great last year. I mean, it could be an exciting,
who's not back,
year for the ACC.
Boston College. Yeah, except for Boston College and Pitt.
Central Connecticut. we might have to relegate them. Football is not.
Dude, that's
throw them
bad.
in the American. Throw them back in the American.
That's bad. That's so bad.
And you know.
How do you
no
lose to Central Connecticut? No, absolutely not, dude. And then last night, Pitt put up, I think it was 49 in the game. Yeah, they put up 49 against West Virginia. How do you do that?
I didn't even see that. That's bad.
71-49. They lost to West Virginia. How do you put up 49?
Oh,
that's crazy,
oh my God.
That's
look at Cal though.
That is
losing by 3 in a thriller to Kansas State. 99-96.
And mind you,
that's pretty impressive.
And this is a Cal team that lost arguably their best player to Illinois.
Stojakovic.
Yeah. He's gone. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, hey, Kansas State's no joke either. Also, right before we hopped on here, little college basketball news from a top 10 team here. Kennard Davis Jr. from BYU, who is a starter on their team, they are a top 10 team in the nation right now, was arrested on suspicion of DUI last night. Apparently they pulled him over, or early in the morning, I should say, on suspicion of DUI. So we'll see what happens with that. But he was arrested last night. So that's probably not the best look for them. Yeah, and that is a big hit for a very good BYU team.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Out of all the schools,
well, coming from BYU in multiple ways. You don't see too many DUIs come out of Provo.
No, you do not.
Man.
So that's something to keep an eye on. But there is always some good college basketball. Yep.
Tonight we got
Go
a tonight
for
we got
it.
a sneaky good matchup. Arizona UCLA. UCLA's
Yep.
got. I mean, they still have what? They still have Sky Clark, right? Donovan Dent, maybe not Sky Clark.
Yep.
They have some,
Yep.
yeah, they do, right?
No, Donovan Dent.
Yeah, Sky Clark,
Is Sky Clark there?
Donovan Dent. Yeah,
Didn't he graduate? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
uh,
Yep.
he
Yeah. That's going to be a
he
good one.
is
And
right.
Sunday, even better. Yes, he is. I think so. Sunday's
Also
even
got Tyler
better. You got
Bilodeau.
Houston
Remember
Auburn
him when
on
he was at
Sunday.
Oregon State? Oh, Houston
Yeah.
Auburn. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
This Auburn team's
Speaking
a
of all,
little
that's gonna be
weird
interesting
though.
this year with Bruce Pearl gone now. I mean, that was definitely quick turn of events with him.
Yeah. I mean, they still have
So we'll see
Todd
how Sun can
Pettiford.
do.
Yeah, they still have Todd Pettiford and all
Pettiford's a
those guys,
dog.
but yeah, he's a dog. No, Bruce Pearl is a little scary for him. So we'll see what happens with that. But in other college basketball games this weekend, couple of good ones. Barn Burner and VT Charlotte this weekend. Real nice one. No, I'm just kidding. It's still early in the basketball season, so you still have a lot of these, Power Four conference
Still
teams
trying to,
playing scrubs, but yeah.
and they're still. I mean, that
Um,
happens every year. They're still trying to figure the teams out too. Like some of these early ranked matchups that you may see is may go a different way later in the year. But hell, I mean, I'm glad we've got some good matchups already. It's exciting when you get it this early.
yeah, I
And
agree. And
you'll start
I
to have
think
the Thanksgiving tournaments too next week. You have the Players Era tournament, Vegas. There's a ton of really good teams there, so those can be some good matchups, and that'll be a cool thing to watch.
absolutely. And I think honestly, I think the game of the weekend, and I waited to say this because I think we could talk about this for a little bit longer because I just brought up BYU. But they are playing in Boston against UConn on Saturday at 7 p.m. Hall of Fame series in Boston. UConn, BYU, two top 10 teams, 3-7. Obviously now BYU, we just said it, they're without Kennard Davis now. But I mean, this is an early test for a UConn team that everyone thought was going to win another national championship last year and came up short. And it should be interesting to see what this looks like. Obviously, they played, three nobodies to start the season, but they have BYU and Arizona back to back coming up here. So it should be interesting. This is a real test to see what this UConn team is made of.
Yeah,
And
that'll
on
be
top of
a great matchup. I mean, is it neutral court? Is it neutral site or is it at Utah? I mean, not Utah.
it's in
UConn.
It's in Boston. It's in Boston. So technically it's a home game, I guess, for UConn because it's in Boston. But yeah, I mean, dude, I'm looking at their schedule. They got BYU, they got Arizona, and then Illinois, Kansas, Florida. Like they scheduled some hard games to start their non-conf. Like legitimate teams.
Shout out
actual
Oakland. They had
legitimate
to
teams.
go through the ringer. Shout out Oakland. I don't know if you saw. They had to go through the ringer. They played Houston. They played who else? They played Michigan. I think there was a Michigan. They played like three really good ranked teams in a row. I feel bad for them, but I guess they'll be ready for games after that. They'll be conditioned.
They probably got some good money for that too. They definitely did.
Yeah. You want to talk about some little college football real quick?
Let's do it. Sounds good to me.
Let's see. Well, first off, I think we got to talk about it. It's the second week. Max back. Maction is back. There's nothing better than run on a Tuesday night on a cold November evening. Turning the game on, and what is it? Kent State Akron. Kent State in Akron. That game was
I love
phenomenal, by the way. Phenomenal. Went to overtime. 42-35. Kent State, they were underdogs in that game. They ended up pulling out the win on the road. So that's a big win. That's a big win.
I'm a big action guy.
You had Western Michigan beating Ohio. Central Michigan killing Buffalo. This might have been game of the week. Northern Illinois UMass. 45-3.
Bro, setting off fireworks when you kick a field goal down 45-0 is insane. In case anyone didn't see what we're talking about, go look it up on Twitter. But UMass set off fireworks down 45-0 when they kicked a field goal in the fourth quarter.
Hey, they scored. All for the vibes there. Got to give the home crowd something.
Sure.
Home few people.
Dude, I don't know if there's a worse sports program out there than UMass. I genuinely
feel bad for the Minutemen. Feel bad for the Minutemen.
You want to talk about being relegated? Like they need to go to like D2 or D3 at this point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate.
But in games that are upcoming, obviously, College game day, Notre Dame Pitt, they're going to be at Pitt this weekend. That should be an interesting game. What are your thoughts? I want to hear what you think here on what Pat Narduzzi said about playing Notre Dame this weekend. For those of you that don't know what I am talking about, basically to summarize what he said, he basically said that the game to him doesn't matter because it doesn't count towards conference play. And right now, all Pitt's worried about is going to the ACC championship game. So I kind of want to get your thoughts and opinions on that, Joss.
I totally get what he's saying, and it makes sense. I don't know if I would say that nationally on live, live press conference like that. I feel like it also doesn't send the message to your team. Like it doesn't send a great message to your team. You want them coming into this game fired up. I mean, yeah, it's not an ACC game, but it's a game that would be damn good on their resume if they win it. I mean, even if they play close to Notre Dame and it's a one score game in the fourth quarter, that's something the committee later down the line. If they end up, I think they play Georgia Tech and Miami. If they get 2 wins there, that loss to Notre Dame that could even help them if it's a close loss. So I think you definitely want to win that game. I mean, this is you're at home. It's game day. Like you want your team to be hyped up. You don't want to send your team the wrong message. So I get where he's coming from. It makes sense in the ACC aspect, but I don't think you could just come. It's not like they're playing like New Mexico State this weekend. Like they're playing Notre Dame. So it's not not your ordinary non-conference game. So I don't love it.
I fully agree.
I don't love it. Don't love it.
I don't either. I fully agree. I think it sends the wrong message. I really.
On the other hand, though, I think he's a really good coach. I mean, he always has Pitt in contention for the ACC, or at least like they always end up being like ranked in the 20s. It seems like almost every single year. So I mean, he's built a good program up there. So I think a little bit more resources go their way, that they could be even better.
Yeah, I fully agree. Just jumping around the league, some other good games this week. Number 11, Oklahoma at number 4, Alabama. Alabama 5.5-point favorites in that game. That should be, again, another good one. Oklahoma hasn't looked as good as they did in the beginning of the season after Mateer has gotten hurt and had surgery and come back and all that, but that should be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think that's a huge game for Oklahoma, especially building off a win at Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's still, I think they're still ranked. They're hanging in there, the 23, but they haven't played anyone. So I mean, Oklahoma has some good wins, but this is a win that I think that would nearly secure them a college football playoff spot. I mean, on the road out Alabama, that's never an easy task. Alabama's a different animal at home sometimes. So I think that's going to be a great game. I think Mateer versus Ty Simpson is going to it's going to be really cool. Alabama giving 5.5. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Oklahoma defense could be the difference maker. I think they force some turnovers like they did against Joey Aguilar at Tennessee, and it's the ball's in their court. So a really intriguing matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Again, another top 25 matchup, Iowa USC at USC. Another game that is a close spread. USC 6.5-point favorites. USC's been an interesting team this year. They've been making a push here towards the end of the season, and I think a win over Iowa. I mean, it's at home, but could be something that pushes them forward here. I mean, obviously, I think the Big Ten is not necessarily in their favor this year. But they have a wide receiver, Mekhi Lemon, who is going to be an NFL caliber wide receiver. It seems like they produce one of those every year or so. And again, it's their team that wasn't talked about a lot in the preseason, and they've quietly had a really good season in the Big Ten this year.
They have. This is another win to put on their resume. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised when Iowa was ranked last week. I just wasn't expecting it. Their best win their best game, I would say, was a close loss to Indiana at the time. So I was a little surprised that they were ranked, but then they hung in there and nearly beat Oregon. That was a great matchup in Kinnick in a monsoon of a game. So I mean, that made me think like, okay, I see why they're ranked. They put up a good fight. Now being on the road against the USC team that has a pretty good offense, that'll be interesting. It might be a closer game than people think, just because Iowa's defense their defense and special teams always keeps them in games. But that'll definitely be an interesting one for sure. Then
yeah, and I think No, all I was going to say is before we jump to the game that you were going to, which I'm going to assume is Texas Georgia.
It was.
I want to I want to touch on one more game, and that is one that I will be keeping a close eye on and actively hate watching, and that will be number 19 Virginia on the road at Duke, trying to keep their season alive. If there was ever a time for UVA to fall apart, it would be right now, and I would love it. Let me tell you, Duke is no easy win here. They're 4-1 in the ACC. They're playing them at Duke, and as of right now, Chandler Morris is expected to get out of concussion protocol and play in this game. But if for some reason he doesn't, I mean, they looked bad last week without him at quarterback. So it could be interesting. They're trying to keep their ACC championship hopes alive. They're trying to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. I would love to see Duke smash them.
We're a little biased though, but you do have to mention that
No.
Duke had a bad loss at UConn last week. I mean,
they're still 5.5-point favorites though. After that,
yeah, I mean they're home. I guess. I mean, UConn's not a bad team, but it's still a game. It's still a team that they should have beat. So do they come into this game really pissed now and knowing they need a win? Maybe. We'll really see. We'll see what Manny Diaz cooks up over there. But it's that loss did not look good. That's something that could go into UVA's favor. But they both had bad losses. I mean, Wake Forest isn't a terrible team, but they didn't look good. They didn't look that good.
And in terms of making the ACC championship game, that's bad.
I think they had no. I want to say it was like no fumbles. UVA had no fumbles going to that game. They had 3 in that game alone. So, and that's kind of the way things go sometimes. Is you're due for a game like that. But I mean, if they control the ball, if they don't turn the ball over like they did in prior games, they're going to be in the game. It's going to be a close game. It should be.
Agreed. I absolutely agree. All right, now I'll let you touch on the game that you're heading to before this one, and that is Texas at Georgia, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, any game, I feel like you have Georgia at night, like in a matchup like this, it's always ends up being a classic game. This is an interesting one. Texas is a team you thought after a few games this year were completely out of it. I mean, they just looked awful. Arch Manning wasn't looking good. The defense wasn't playing the best. I mean, the loss to Ohio State was close. You know, it wasn't anything crazy. The Florida loss, I mean, you're at the Swamp, but that didn't look like a great game for you. But then you beat Oklahoma. You beat a decent Mississippi State team on the road where you came back by like 17 points, down 17 or something like that. You had the win against Vanderbilt, which you were up big. You kind of let them come back a little bit for a 3-point game. But this is a win that will completely rewrite their season. I think the key for them is to run the ball more. I think when they've kind of strayed away from the pass or strayed away from the run and were more pass reliant, I think that's when they struggled. I think if Georgia last week finally put in the 4-quarter game. A lot of times they start slow this year, and then third and fourth quarter they really run it up.
Yeah.
But I think if Texas can get out and score first, or at least score in their first or second drive, I think it's going to be a close game. I think they just got to rely on the run. I mean, they've been best when they're at the run. Sarkisian is a good coach. Kirby Smart's a better coach, arguably, but I think it'll be a good game. It's a chance for Texas to really rewrite their season, but it's also a chance for Georgia to get another massive win.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think, dude, for how bad Arch Manning has been this year and how much criticism he's gotten, the fact that Texas is still a top 10 team in the nation, you would, if you had no idea and you didn't watch any college football whatsoever, and all you did was listen to what people said about Texas and Arch Manning, you would think that they were like a 7-loss team this year rather than a 7-win team. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think Texas has remotely close of a chance to win this game. I mean, going into Georgia at night, I don't see it happening. I don't think that Texas pulls this off. Again, that's just me. That is true, but you were talking about Bama, and then you were talking about Texas, who is led by Arch Manning, who is having one of the biggest letdown seasons we've seen in a long time for how much hype he had coming into this year.
Very true.
So I think this is just another statement win for Georgia. I would like to see them play all 4 quarters. Like you said, they do tend to come out slow. Hopefully Kirby Smart has conditioned that out of them as the season's gone on. But it definitely should be an interesting one. And I'm going to keep an eye on that one because I think there's two ways this goes. I think either Georgia gets a humongous statement win and they put, as the kids say, belt to ass in this one, or Texas finds a way to get a win in the doghouse at night.
Yeah.
Well,
it's gonna be
before we wrap it up, before we close it out for the show, let's give the people some picks, shall we? What do you say? Little gambling advice for the folks.
I like this. Well, I don't know if you want it from me right now, but
you could go anywhere.
We did good last week.
I did good
last week. So. All right.
Yeah. Listen.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look here.
You can go NFL. You can go NHL. You can give me some college football. You can give me some college basketball. The world is your oyster.
I think I'm going to stick with some college football because that Houston pick last week was looking pretty good. Sorry for the short podcast this week, but we gotta get down to Rocky Top. They wait for nobody.
Listen, we'll be back next. Exactly, we'll be back next week with a full podcast. No problem, no worries. Rocky Top, we're coming. So while you're thinking about that, I will start us off with something that I really like. Diving right back to the ACC. Give me an underdog. Give me Clemson plus 1.5 against Louisville.
Maybe touch on that game. That's a big game.
Let me tell you why. Yes, they are at Louisville. Yes, it's a Friday night game. However, Louisville, no starting running back, potentially out for the rest of the season. Miller Moss has looked awful this year. Absolutely terrible. Louisville, the last couple of games, has looked really, really bad. The Virginia Tech in that first half, they look brutal. They lost to Cal. Like they are on a downward spiral right now. And I love Clemson to come in and just clean up in Louisville tonight. I don't see any reason why Clemson doesn't win this game outright. Give me the plus 1.5. I would be more than happy with that. I think Clemson comes in, cleans up. Kate Klubnik takes care of business, and Louisville is no longer ranked in the top 25 come next week.
Okay, I like it's an interesting pick, especially given how Clemson's season's been going so far. So on the road it could be a little tough, but I guess the games I'm looking at real quick. I mean, one thing's catching my eye is USF. It's a little bit of a bigger spread, -9.5 against Navy. Navy, they got beat pretty good. What they played? They played. Was it just
the mean green North Texas, and then they played Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean they lost 49-10 Notre Dame. Now USF's not Notre Dame, and they're going to be Navy's going to be home this week, but I think USF's in the driver's seat for the American. They're in the driver's seat for a bowl bid, playoff bid. I think they go into Annapolis and they get things done. I think they could. Then they could run it up on Navy, just kind of the same way Notre Dame did. If I had to look one other game, where was it? I lost it here. I'm not doing a good job here.
Yeah, while you're thinking about that, I'll give you another one. We talked about it. We brought it up. Going to the SEC. I love Alabama to cover -5.5 against Oklahoma at home. They've been on a roll. They've seemed to turn this season around. Ty Simpson looks like he could win Heisman this year. I think Alabama covers 5.5 at home against Oklahoma.
Okay, I like it. This is just another one because we were talking about it. Georgia Tech going on the road at Boston College and Chestnut Hill. Again, it's a big spread, 16.5, but I can't see any way BC keeps this game close. I mean, Haynes King is going to run all over them. Yeah, Haynes King's going to run all over them. So that could maybe be my other pick. So,
yeah, I think so. And I think, before we wrap this up and before we end this, I think one pick that you might be seeing a lot of money coming on out of Blacksburg, Virginia, a little Rocky Top action. Taking the over, and B, Tennessee -40.5. Perhaps
I like the over better.
Chance.
They could put a 50. They could put a 50 by themselves. So we'll see.
Listen, we watched New Mexico State play.
I was going to say, yeah. FIFA the other night had a bad game. He watched him throw a few picks. I don't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but
they're on a 4-game losing streak right now. So I don't know. I kind of think this one's going to be a blowout. I hope Tennessee covers, but yeah, I think the over might be the move there. So, what do you think? You know, since I'm wrapping the gear, so we didn't really talk about it. Let's before we wrap up. What do you think? Virginia Tech, Florida State. What do you got this weekend? You liking
I just
VT
completely
to
zoned out. I was
cover?
reading something. Say that one more time.
What do you think of this week? We got Florida State VT 7:30 p.m.
No, I'm not. I think
No, you don't think
they
VT
should run it
covers?
up on us. I mean, I kind of I probably not. In a way I want to win, but in a way I hope I don't. I kind of hope we don't win because if we lose, Norvell might get fired, and then they might get Franklin. So future post game, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the first game.
Yeah, I agree. I do hope that Florida State takes it out on us and we get killed because again, would really like Mike Norvell to keep his job so we don't have to worry about James Franklin going there. But with all that being said, we are going to wrap for this week. Short, quick, to the point. Got you there. We got you a lot of information. Next week we will be back. We will have some Rocky Top recap. We hopefully will have some James Franklin news. That would be nice. We will have some NHL. We promised you that. We promised you NHL last week. We didn't give it to you this week. We'll get it to you next week. That and a whole lot more coming at you next Friday when we are back. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support.
A little bit more
we
waffling
appreciate
next
you guys
week too,
watching,
probably.
listening. Yes. Maybe a little pasta ranking. Who knows? We're going to come at you from all different angles. We appreciate everyone tuning in. We appreciate you all listening, and we will see you guys next week. Peace. All right. Yeah, we're good.